I just feel like somebody needs to say this. As far as it comes to flesh pedestrians or mimics and that sort of thing, there's no such thing as these ghost type of entities that people keep feeling like they're seeing. Those are demons. That is exactly what those things are. You don't think that these demons don't know how to copy our voices or sounds or shapes and stuff like that to get our guards down and to trick us, and then we notice that something's off about it? Do you honestly think that whenever you see a ghost of a person, that that's truly their ghost? No, they've either gone and there's no gray area. They've either gone to heaven or hell. It's black or white. There is no gray area of them hanging around this earth. That is just a way to get your guard down and to manipulate you, especially in a time where you're mourning and you're trying to find peace in the loss of a loved one, to feel like you're speaking to them instead of taking it to God and praying to God. It is the way that the adversary sends these demons to come and infiltrate you in these vulnerable moments, and you end up playing around with these demons and then leading other folks astray by saying, oh, how you've had this sign, this great symbol from beyond that your loved one is reaching you. In all honesty, those are demons that have sat there. You don't think that they haven't been around long enough to study how we act, how animals act, how your loved ones may have talked to you, or ways to try to betray you because your guards are down? People, we have to realize what we're truly in battle with here. This is spiritual warfare. You don't think that the adversary hasn't found effective ways to get in and manipulate us in such a terrible way through our vulnerability of sadness or fear? That's why things seem like, oh, something's off. It's kind of similar to a human or kind of similar to an animal, but there's something about it that I can't quite put my finger on. It's because it's not. It's a demon. I mean, all these times where people are saying, oh, well, I'm hearing my own voice. Oh, you don't think those demons aren't practicing on you so that they can replicate your voice? You don't think that they can't replicate what a person looked like? You don't think that they can't replicate conversations or things that they would think that you would want to hear? And even if they say nice things or anything like that in your vulnerability, for you to feel closure of it's your loved one and you keep reaching for it instead of reaching for God, because we're allowing these demons to get in between us and God. That is what the devil does. He is a deceiver. He will find ways. There's been demons all over this earth for a very long time. There's good and there's evil. And as long as these people keep playing around with the fact of, oh, well, there's a spirit of a little girl in my home. Yeah, that lets you get your guard down. Well, why is it that you think there's poltergeist activity and all these other things? Oh, but it's of a child. No, it's not. That's you putting your guard down and you allowing this thing to live with you and to manifest itself in your daily life, feeding off of your fear, or things that sit there and feed off of your sorrow in your time of mourning. And you're reaching it, it's distracting you, so you keep reaching to these things of the great beyond instead of reaching God. I mean, there is one and only God. When you honestly think about it, it doesn't make sense at all why these things all of a sudden are manifesting in these times to where you are at most vulnerable. And that's what it does, is it's using you. The devil is actually using you inadvertently because you don't even know it. You're ignorant to it. He's using you inadvertently to distract his people and these other folks who sit there and wait on seeing the spirit of their loved one contact them, instead of having peace that they're in heaven, or that they've moved on. Instead of finding peace in that you sit there and honestly think that they're still roaming this earth lost. And why do you think even in these terrible, tragic events, things keep repeating itself over and over and over and over again? You don't think that demons and things aren't feeding off of the negative energy of such something that is so sorrowful? And then these things act like they're crossing the road or whatever, so you can have an accident and it can harm you. I mean, this is all spiritual warfare. There's demons out there. These are not ghosts. These are not these little spirits that everybody wants to play around with and think it's all cute and everything else. No, these entities are demons. Let's be aware of what we are fighting here. You can't be effective fighting something if you don't know what it is. Why do you think in the Bible that Michael had to fight Satan over Moses' dead body? What do you think he was going to utilize that for? To deceive the followers of Moses when he was alive. This is spiritual warfare. This is where demons are coming in. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, you guys. We've got to acknowledge it for what it really is, because it will sit there and take you off track. We've got to seek God. We've got to come to God with things and not think that we're going to these spirits and conversating with them, because they're gone. They have found their ultimate peace and rest.